The Opposition Communications spokesman Malcolm Turnbull.
Malcolm Turnbull, welcome to News 24.
Good to be here.
You've called Senator Bernardi's comments raising the prospect legalising same-sex marriage could lead to polygamy or even bestiality hysterical. This is a debate where passionate and personal views are being expressed. Can you draw a line between what is something someone should say and what is something someone shouldn't say?
Well, I suppose Senator Bernardi is entitled to say what he likes, but the fact is that his views are extreme, they are hysterical. They're not the views of the mainstream Australian society, let alone of the Liberal Party. The Liberal Party is a broad church, a big tent, a very tolerant party, and it is not this sort of offensive argument is not one that finds support in the Liberal Party broadly, quite the contrary.
Even though it's offensive, doesn't he have a right to express his view if it's a personally held view?
Well, I'm not challenging his right. Everyone's got a right to express a view, Lyndall. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they have a right to express a view. That doesn't mean their view is right. And what I'm saying is that the view expresses is not correct, is not one that I would support. It's a very weak, slippery slope argument. I mean, let me put this to you. The proposition is made by Senator Bernardi and by other people that if same-sex couples' relationships were able to be recognised as a marriage, that would undermine traditional marriage between men and women. Now, the fact is that what undermines traditional marriage is lack of commitment. It is lack of love. It's cruelty, it's neglect, it's adultery. It's all of those things that cause people to break up, marriages to break down and lead to divorce and separation and so forth. So if you want to tackle the problems facing traditional marriage, then you should be promoting love, you should be promoting commitment. How on earth really, could two gay people living down the road or in the next suburb from me, getting married, just having their relationship described as marriage, how could that possibly undermine or detract from my marriage to Lucy? I mean, it is completely ridiculous. The thing that undermines marriage is lack of commitment. And when gay people are saying we want to make a stronger commitment, aren't they holding a mirror up to the heterosexuals and indeed saying, have a look at yourself, have a look at your lack of commitment? So when people want to advocate for traditional marriage, and there is no stronger advocate for marriage than me, I can assure you, they should be speaking about love, they should be speaking about commitment, and they should be speaking about the need for us to take more care of each other, not preaching a sort of a line of animosity, even hate against gay people.
It remains, though, that your position is not the Liberal Party position, is it? And this legislation is unlikely to get the support of the Parliament, so it's likely not to be the Parliament's position either.
Well, you can be opposed to gay marriage, if you like. But I mean, let's just step back by what I mean by that. Same-sex couples' relationships are recognised by the law today, and they are accorded all of the social benefits, Medicare, tax, super benefits that heterosexual couples have. The issue, the debating point, is whether that same-sex couples' recognised relationship can be described as a marriage. Now, you can take the view, a conservative view, that marriage should only be used as a term to describe heterosexual couples. You can take that view without denigrating or disrespecting same-sex couples, let alone without being homophobic. And you can make that argument without using extreme propositions such as if that gay couple that have been living together for 30 years are allowed to term their relationship a marriage, that will lead to people having sex with animals and wanting that to be described as a marriage. That is so bizarre. And it really, what I want to say, and this is why I'm doing this interview with you, is to say that those views do not represent the views of the Liberal Party as a whole. They certainly don't represent the views of Liberal Party MPs overall, and in particular representing the largest, I would imagine, number of gay people in any constituency in Australia. I want my constituents to know that I dissociate myself from those views.
Senator Bernardi is not a backbencher. He's the Shadow Parliamentary Secretary to the Leader of the Opposition. He has been criticised before for views that were seen as anti-Muslim. Does he need to be pulled into line by the Leader?
Well, I've been Leader of the Opposition, as you know, and I always, when I was Leader of the Opposition, I always greatly appreciated advice from my colleagues, particularly if it was given to me privately. So I'm not going to give Tony Abbott public advice on what he should do about this. But I'll convey my advice to him privately.
But is it an issue that someone whose views you say are hysterical holds a position which is pretty close to the Leader of the Opposition?
Well, he is very close to the Leader of the Opposition, but that is a matter for the Leader of the Opposition. I know, you know, you can ask me the same question 3 or 4 times, but I can only give you the same answer, and you'll understand why.
The issue, as I mentioned, the Liberal Party is not in favour as a policy position of same-sex marriage. You are in favour of it. In the end, will you be voting against it? Will you be casting a vote against it, or will you seek to abstain?
Well, look, we have traditionally, more often than not, on issues like this, had a free vote, which has enabled front benchers to vote according to their conscience on issues like this.
But you don't on this one.
Correct. Listen me finish. Barry O'Farrell is allowing a free vote in the New South Wales Parliament on the gay marriage issue. Our party room has decided, supporting the leadership, that there will not be a free vote. So for me to vote for the gay marriage bill, I would have to resign from the front bench and then exercise my right as a backbencher to cross the floor. And I've come to the view that I won't do that, weighing it up. It's a difficult decision, but I've come to the view I shouldn't do that. And I have to say, however, even if there were a free vote in the Liberal Party, as there is in the Labor Party, I don't think there are the numbers. In fact, I'm very confident there aren't the numbers in the Parliament to pass it. And that's why I've said what we should do is not let the opportunity pass without anything, and we should legislate to recognise gay couples' relationships as civil unions.
But if that doesn't happen, when this issue comes to a vote, will you vote with the coalition on it, or will you seek to abstain?
No, that's what I've just said. I've said I'll vote with the coalition. I'll do my duty as a member of the front bench, but it's very important for my constituents to know, and I think for all Australians to know, where I stand. But they also recognise that politics is a team sport, and there are times, you know, when the majority view is not yours, but you, for the sake of the team, you go along with the majority view. It'd be utterly disingenuous for me to be ducking the question or pretending I believed one thing rather than another.
Malcolm Turnbull, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.